Because it is Suicide Prevention Awareness Week, I'm going to talk to you about my own experience with suicide. Because it is going to save someone's life today, wherever the ripple effect lands. Because it is honest and important. And because we want to end suicide. I want you for a moment to think about the word suicide. Stop right now and say it in your head. Suicide. Is it scary when you're alone with your thoughts? No one else can hear you. No one else knows you ever uttered it. I have you do this because this is what it can be like to feel alone in a thought, which no one else can hear, and no one else really wants to talk about. I know, because I've been there. It's that thought that scares you and relieves you all at the same time. To no longer be around, I used to say, would be so refreshing. But what if I make a mistake and it's not successful? Or what if I regret it? I wouldn't be around to make that choice. But when you feel like you need a relief from the pain and suffering, no longer being around sounds like a pretty good idea. It's like a day off work when you call in sick. It's a break. It's a release from your daily life. And when it comes to suffering with mental illness or chronic disease, or maybe you've lost someone, or you're being bullied, this feels like the open door of light in a pitch black room. Yet if we stop long enough to contemplate what's on the other side of that door, we really think about the end results. Why would we ever want to walk through? We would leave all the good things behind in life too. And in that moment, our minds cannot make the decision for us. We are in a state like none other, where our brain does not function in order to make cognitive, well-thought-out decisions. We are overwhelmed by our emotions, our feelings, and the thoughts of all that is wrong running through our heads. So I know that some of you here have lost others to suicide. And I know that some of you here have had thoughts of suicide. I know this because it is the leading cause of death in Canada, with 11 people dying by suicide each day. Each day. I have been there too with these thoughts. I could not think. I had no hope that anything would be better. Nothing else in life seemed like it was good or worth living for. Yet I say seemed, because I realized today and immediately after my attempt that there was so much good I just cognitively could not remember it. My mind was tricked by the flood of emotions, and I wanted to die. But you see, there is a moment that I know each person who has experienced what I am saying has felt, the "are you sure" moment. When you ask yourself, are you sure you want to do this? Hoping and searching, maybe, somehow, some way, it will be different if you just stay around. And for me, as I was about to try suicide, I thought of this exact phrase. But what if it is the new medication? That would be a real shame. I contemplated it for a moment. I suddenly, for a moment, had that glimmer of hope, and knew that it is a side effect of antidepressants to possibly feel suicidal. I knew that I had just started a new medication, and in the first few weeks, this could be it. Could be. And the could be is all it took to step down and immediately call for help. Because suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. And it is the reaching out for hope that saves our lives. We all, in those moments, need a release from the overwhelming yet temporary feelings. And these feelings may occur again and again, but with help, hope, and knowledge, we can live. So this is what I ask of you. If you are ever encountered with a person who might be feeling this way, I want you to ask them, directly ask them, are you having thoughts of suicide? Because if you do, I can tell you one thing, that as soon as someone asks, it is the release that person is looking for. It is a thought that someone else, besides themselves, knows they are not alone. In their thoughts, feelings, the quiet of the mind where no one else can hear, like we tried earlier in this talk. When we know someone else knows, it diffuses those overwhelming feelings because we know we are not alone. We have someone who understands enough to ask how we are doing and want to keep us safe. That is hope, and that is worth living for.